Thank you for visiting my channel. Before we start, please hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons to receive notification of future presentations. Our topic for discussion is Article 17 of the new Civil Code, which refers to the following: Lex Loci Celebraciones, Consular Acts, and Public Policy Exception. Article 17. The forms and solemnities of contracts, wills, and other public instruments shall be governed by the laws of the country in which they are executed. When the acts referred to are executed before the diplomatic or consular officials of the Republic of the Philippines in a foreign country, the solemnities established by Philippine laws shall be observed in their execution. Prohibitive laws concerning persons, their acts or property, and those which have for their object public order, public policy, and good customs shall not be rendered ineffective by laws or judgments promulgated or by determinations or conventions agreed upon in a foreign country. Article 17 of the Civil Code of the Philippines primarily deals with the principle of lex loci celebrationes, or the law of the place of execution, regarding the forms and solemnities of contracts, wills, and other public instruments. It also establishes the rule on acts executed before diplomatic or consular officials, as well as the overriding exception of Philippine public policy. Article 17 contains three distinct rules in private international law or conflict of laws. First is Lex Loci Celebrationes. The law of the place where the act is executed governs its form. Second is Philippine Consular Acts Abroad. Philippine law governs documents executed before Philippine diplomatic or consular officers abroad. And third is Public Policy Exception. Foreign laws or judgments cannot override Philippine prohibitive laws involving public order, public policy, or good customs. First paragraph, Lex Loci Celebrationes. Rule: the extrinsic validity or form and solemnities of contracts, wills, and public instruments is governed by the law of the place where they are executed, regardless of the nationality of the parties. This is known as Lex Loci Celebrationes, or the law of the place of celebration or execution. What does forms and solemnities mean? These refer only to the external requirements prescribed by law, such as the following: number of witnesses, notarization, signatures, attestation, acknowledgement, official registration, and prescribed ceremony. They do not include the intrinsic validity of the act. First example, a Filipino executes a will in Japan. Japanese law requires only two witnesses. Philippine law requires three witnesses under the applicable law governing the will. Question: is the will formally valid? Yes, its formal validity is governed by Japanese law because it was executed there. Second example, two Canadians execute a deed in the Philippines. The document complies with Philippine formal requirements. The deed is formally valid because Philippine law governs the form. Extrinsic versus intrinsic validity. Article 17 governs only extrinsic validity. It does not determine the capacity, legality of object, consent, public policy, or successional rights. Those issues are governed by Article 15 and 16 or other applicable laws. Second paragraph, Philippine consular officials. Article 17 creates an important exception. When the contract, will, or public instrument is executed before the Philippine ambassador, Philippine consul, or Philippine vice consul, the governing formalities are Philippine law even though the act occurs abroad. Why? A Philippine consular office performs certain notarial functions. For purposes of executing documents, Philippine law treats those acts as subject to Philippine formal requirements. Example, a Filipino signs a special power of attorney before the Philippine consulate in Los Angeles. Even though physically in the United States, the formal requirements are those prescribed by Philippine law. Third paragraph, public policy exception. This is one of the most important provisions in Philippine conflict of laws. It provides that foreign laws, foreign judgments, or agreements made abroad cannot defeat Philippine laws that are prohibitive, based on public policy, based on public order, and based on good customs. Purpose: Article 17 prevents parties from escaping mandatory Philippine law merely by going abroad. The Philippines will refuse to recognize foreign acts that are violative of its own fundamental policies. Jurisprudence on Lex Lose Celebraciones. The law provides the forms and solemnities of contracts, wills, and other public instruments shall be governed by the laws of the country in which they are executed. Demunari versus Asprec, GR number 262831, April 7, 2025. In this case, the Supreme Court ruled that regional trial courts have jurisdiction to hear and decide petitions for the declaration of absolute nullity of a bigamous marriage, even if the marriage was celebrated abroad between a foreign national and a Filipino citizen. The case arose when Gianni de Munari, an Italian citizen, sought to declare his marriage to Thelma Asprec null and void after discovering she had two prior subsisting marriages in the Philippines. The trial court initially dismissed the complaint for lack of jurisdiction, citing Lex Lose Celebraciones under Article 17 of the Civil Code because the marriage took place in Italy. Reversing this ruling, the Supreme Court clarified that under the nationality principle of Article 15 of the Civil Code, Philippine family laws follow Philippine citizens wherever they go, thereby giving local courts jurisdiction over their marital status. Furthermore, the court firmly established that foreign nationals possess the necessary legal standing to independently file a petition for nullity of a void marriage in the Philippines, as domestic procedural rules do not distinguish between Filipino and foreign litigants in seeking such relief. Jurisprudence on acts before diplomatic or consular officials. The law provides when the acts referred to are executed before the diplomatic or consular officials of the Republic of the Philippines in a foreign country, the solemnities established by Philippine laws shall be observed in their execution. Lopez versus CA, GR number L-77008, December 29, 1987. In this case, the Supreme Court ruled that a special power of attorney or SPA executed and notarized in a foreign country is inadmissible in evidence in Philippine courts unless it complies with the authentication requirements under the Rules of Court, specifically Section 25, Rule 132 of the Old Rules of Evidence. The case originated from an ejectment suit filed by Priscilla L.T. on behalf of the property owner Angelita Lopez using an SPA executed before a city judge notary public in Oslo, Norway. While the trial court initially ruled in favor of Lopez, the regional trial court and the Court of Appeals ultimately found the SPA inadmissible due to a lack of proper certification from a Philippine Foreign Service officer stationed in Norway. Affirming these dismissals, the Supreme Court held that because the attorney-in-fact's authority was never legally established, the litigation was not initiated by the real party in interest, thereby depriving the courts of jurisdiction and rendering all lower court proceedings null and void ab initio. Jurisprudence on prohibitive laws and public policy, the exception. The law provides prohibitive laws concerning persons, their acts or property, and those which have for their object public order, public policy, and good customs shall not be rendered ineffective by laws or judgments promulgated or by determinations or conventions agreed upon in a foreign country. This is the ultimate guardrail of Philippine conflict of laws. Even if a contract or act is formally valid where it was celebrated, Philippine courts will strike it down if it violates deeply rooted domestic public policy. Ten Chavez versus Escaño, GR number L-19671, November 29, 1965. In this case, the Supreme Court established the landmark doctrine that absolute foreign divorces obtained by Filipino citizens are not recognized under Philippine jurisdiction. The case arose after Vicente Escaño and Pastor Ten Chavez entered into a secret civil marriage in 1948 but quickly became estranged, leading Vicente to depart for the United States where she secured a Nevada divorce and subsequently remarried. Ten Chavez then filed a suit for legal separation and damages against Vicente and her parents, whom he accused of alienating his wife's affections. Modifying the lower court's decision, the Supreme Court ruled that under Article 15 of the Civil Code, laws relating to family status and capacity remain strictly binding upon Filipino citizens even while living abroad. Consequently, the court declared the Nevada divorce and her subsequent marriage null and void in the Philippines, granted Ten Chavez a decree of legal separation, and awarded him moral damages for his wife's desertion. Conversely, it cleared her parents of liability due to a lack of malicious intent. Another illustrative case under the third paragraph is Dakasin versus Dakasin, GR number 168785, February 5, 2010. In this case, the Supreme Court ruled that while Philippine courts have jurisdiction over actions to enforce child custody contracts, a post-divorce agreement establishing a joint custody regime over a child under 7 years old is void ab initio for violating Philippine law. The case involved Harold Dakasin, an American citizen, and Sharon Del Mundo Dakasin, a Filipino citizen, who divorced in Illinois, USA. The Illinois court awarded sole custody of their daughter Stephanie to Sharon. Later, the parties executed a compromise agreement on child custody and support in Manila to share joint custody. When Herald sued to enforce the agreement, the trial court dismissed the case, mistakenly believing it lacked jurisdiction due to the foreign court's prior decree. The Supreme Court reversed the jurisdictional dismissal but declared the joint custody contract itself completely void. It held that under Article 213 of the Family Code, the statutory awarding of sole custody to the mother for children under 7 is mandatory and cannot be privately contracted away by separated parents. However, because the child had reached the age of 14 by the time of the review, the court remanded the case to the trial court to determine the proper custody arrangement based entirely on the child's best interests. This slide shows the summary matrix for quick reference, citing the element of Article 17, its core legal principle, and the landmark case. This slide shows the relationships among Articles 15, 16, and 17 of the new Civil Code. Thank you. If you find this presentation helpful, please subscribe to receive notification of future lectures.